Hi, it's me, Dora V here, and I am reading something by a Tumblr fan known as BScully. I want to say big name fan because she seems that way to me, or he, not really. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry, I don't know the gender. I could just say BScully. But anyway, this was written by BScully, and I am Divine Song. Because BScully had a giveaway for 2,000 followers, and I chose the writing option, and the other options were pretty good. But I chose the writing one because it's one of my favorite images, and it's one of my favorite scenes, and I actually first saw it on, where the hell did I first see it? It was the anime is when I first caught it, and I just thought, damn, really? Yeah, that was when I first saw it, and I did see glimpses of it in the manga, but I'm very familiar with the scene. Like I said, it's one of my favorites, my poor Griffith. But also check out BScully's Tumblr, check out the Redbubble, berserkanalysis.com, check that out, donate. And BScully also has a Redbubble, like I said, check that out too. And I'll have the links in the description for reasons that should be painfully obvious. I was given permission to read and react to this, and now I'm going to do so. This article is part of the 2,000 followers giveaway on Tumblr, which was won by the user Divine Song. This is yours truly. I am also known as Griffith's Huggy Box. Thanks for picking the writing option. In this article, I will analyze Guts and Griffith's second duel in chapters 34 to 36, The Morning Departure, Part 1 to 3, in Volume 8. I will also bring up other relevant chapters to elaborate the scene's context. Guts is leaving Hawks at their best. This is very true, yeah. Of course, we'll be getting into those reasons, obviously. After all battles have been fought and the war has been won, no one truly needed his fighting power anymore. Or so he thought. One of the reasons why he left is because he felt useless. And I think it's more like he wanted to strike out on his own and have his own thing. Did he really? Anyway, this and the fact everyone around them has their own little flame to contribute to the great flame that is Griffith, that campfire of dreams. After the fountain speech and him falling off the cliff with Casca together, he realized that he has no reason to fight, unlike both Casca and Griffith. Basically he wanted to find a dream of his own, or something like that, in order to find a purpose and contemplate about his life in general, and ultimately make a difference and be someone who is important. He decides to take a break and leave. Okay? And then here, so I've explored detail in other posts, which go in depth. Okay. Yeah, let's check that out. Why not? Let's see what we got here. See here, you'll start walking soon. Why did Guts leave the Hawks? Oh, jeez. It's long. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's a lot of it here, but... fountain speech, the cliff... Yeah, Casca played quite the role in this as well, even if you don't expect it at first. Yeah, that's very true. But let me just, for now, just stick with the analysis. Let me do that. But yeah, these do go a bit more in depth, obviously, but I feel like those could also be a bit long. And yeah, just click on those links or something. Yeah, because I'm actually supposed to be reacting to just this post and not necessarily to anything else, so I'll just leave it here. So anyway, both Casca and Judo attempted to talk leaving out of Guts, but nothing could stop him at this point. He was driven by pain and emptiness and would only settle once he escaped the situation. When Casca goes to fetch see, she inadvertently sells Guts out. She says, I'll go tell Griffith, and that's how Griffith finds out. That's how we end up with the Two of Swords. That's how we end up with the duel. Gee, thanks, Casca. And I don't think, it wasn't a malicious betrayal or really intentional. It's just, she kind of did betray Guts. On arriving, Griffith appears to be calm. Oh, this is Griffith we're talking about. I think maybe in appearance he is, but you find out later he's anything but calm. Oh, this is really pretty right here. I didn't really pay attention to that. See here. Like, that's pretty. So you mean to... Yeah, he questions Guts here. However, the moment Griffith asks him if Guts really wishes to leave, his face makes a shift. The glance Griffith has here reminds me of the look he has in his eyes when he encountered a plotting Minister Foss, like a hawk watching his prey. Well, this is like shock. Well, actually, like, this looks more like shock to me. Like, yeah, this doesn't really look like anger or like I see you or I have you in my eye. It's more like just he's shocked. That's how I see it, at least. No, I think those are two different. No, I'm gonna have to disagree here. Like, I feel like those are two entirely different looks. And see, here from when Griffith looked at Minister Foss, exposing him and his schemes in the yeah, admittedly, it's less ominous when Guts leaves. Yeah, like, it is, wait, it's less ominous when yeah, obviously, yeah, because I think, like, they're two entirely different, yeah, like, just entirely, I mean, like, the eyes are widened, but they're for two entirely different reasons and different looks. But anyway, Rickard is bringing out the truth here. Weren't the Hawks like family to him? Was he really willed to throw it all away? The answer to that seems yes. Again, Guts was driven by pain and a sense of nothingness. Yeah, that doesn't explain anything. Yeah, I think, like, Guts just wasn't really good at giving a straight answer. Give a straight answer. Say, open your mouth. Use your words. Say, I want to strike out on my own. Find dreams that are my own. How hard is it to say that? Yeah, poor Rickard, why would you... Guts didn't listen to Rickard, who was much younger than himself. But the next time someone younger told him off, he actually did listen. Yeah. Corcus as well scoffs at Guts, and it seems like he does not mind burning a couple bridges in doing so. Oh, yikes. I don't think Guts ever had the intent of being Griffith. Like, that's not his intention, Corcus. So, like, whatever. And the thing is, like, Corcus is usually pretty shrewd and a bit of a survivor, but he should have known that Guts' intention was not to become Griffith. Like, that's not what he wanted to do. Griffith draws his sword only when Guts walks by Casca. Yeah, because at that point he's about to leave. Consider for a moment just a chapter before, Guts was reassuring Griffith, and I think Guts handled that poorly too, but to be fair, Guts is what, like 18? He's not Brawn. I mean, I think someone like Brawn could have handled it really well, and just said, nah, you did what you had to do, they were trying to kill. But Guts, I think his answer was just the wrong way of putting it. No, just saying. So anyway, Guts was reassuring Griffith, who asked Guts whether he was too cruel. The answer is no. While Guts essentially stated that it means killing the Queen of Midland in a fire and ordering Guts to dispose of the mischievous figures that got hold of Minister Foss's daughter was necessary in pursuit of his dream. How about this? They are people who were trying to kill you. I don't think that was too cruel, but again, Guts does not have the life experience of characters like Brawn, so, but Guts is definitely, like, someone who just has no problem getting his hands dirty. So, yeah, I'll deal with this one later, like, when I finally, like, read it more thoroughly. Dream. You see, that was the wrong answer. Wrong. Bzz. No, it's they were people who were trying to kill you. Like, they were cruel. Like, taking the moral high ground wouldn't have saved you here. Just saying. And what's with this crap? You see, he's got that right, though. Yeah, but then he leaves, so, well, shit. So when Guts walks by Casca, Griffith finally draws his sword, and instead of perhaps making a reference to the family aspect as mentioned by Rickard, Griffith insists that Guts belongs to him, as if Guts has been his possession all this time, his property that he has earned in their first duel, a mere pawn in a game of chess. Not in the fact that... Another theory says that Griffith was actually acting out of desperation. I mean, the possessiveness was definitely there, but there was this element of desperation in that he really loved Guts. He loved him, but he really didn't have it in him to say so, because that was dangerous. And I think Griffith's also maybe a little too proud, and And, like, you should know this already. Sorry, Griffith, people aren't psychic. Anyway, this is actually confusing, considering Griffith risked his life for Guts a couple of times. Yeah, he did. Did he risk his life for the sake of Guts as a person and friend, or for the sake of losing an invaluable pawn? I believe it's firmly the former, and I think he loved Guts. But yeah, anyway, I still cannot tell for sure. Even after reading and analyzing the Golden Age for many, many times, it might be a little bit of both. Nope, I think it's the first one. But whatever, I mean, people have different interpretations. And then, that you belong to me. See, that's what got him in trouble, though, like that. Instead of asking why, the way that Griffith was, he pulls this shit, and that's why he ends up on his knees. But I do agree, it was someone named Twilight Visions, like she had claimed that Griffith was acting out of desperation rather than possessiveness. So. But again, like, these are just different interpretations, and I love Griffith's outfit here. I don't like how it's drawn all the time, because sometimes it looks kind of distorted, but you'll see the scene, I'll show you, like, how sleek this outfit actually is, and it looks really good. Anyway, if we go back in time in the first duel, Griffith had indeed earned Guts to join him. Guts had no definite purpose in life because of the experiences he made with Gambino, killing him and everything that followed in particular. He likely preferred to be his own boss. Gee, no shit. And despised the idea to submit to authority, and I don't blame him, as a way to avoid the experience of being driven out by those he considered family again. Yeah, but also, like, the betrayal, too, because he got sold, so, all this made him immune to Griffith's magnetic charisma. I get that. That appears to attract mercenaries rather than dispel them. Guts could not be earned by conviction of dream, because he had none, at least not a definite one, and was his own master on top of that. Guts was also capable to be his own master because of his strength and combat experience. However, before joining the Hawks, he was still lost, living just to survive. Yeah, he was a lone mercenary, basically, so yeah. This was shown before he was forced to join him, when he turned down the offer to continue serving the same mercenary leader after killing Bazuzo. Was that a mercenary leader? I thought it was a nobleman who asked Guts to join, and he refused. But anyway, this is something that Griffith possibly perceived as invaluable, being different from everyone else. He won Guts' sword by defeating him. By leaving Guts is free, breaking from Griffith's dream by his own sword and to regain control over his life. To me, it always seemed like he survived the eclipse for the same reason. Or more like Guts is just really badass. And I think luck kind of played a hand in it, because Femtu was about to kill them, but he hesitated, and that's when the Skull Knight saved them, so there's that too. It's essentially like Griffith says in the page above, wrest yourself away by your sword. This bears some parallels to how Zod joined Griffith before the birth ceremony, where Zod was defeated by Griffith in a daydream or vision and won his loyalty as a result. I think that's isn't that a bit different though? Anyway. Now, Guts does not wish to fight Griffith at all, and wished he was maybe joking. Oh no, Griffith ain't joking. Does this look like he's joking? You should see, like, it's like blank here. But you should see the anime. It's like, nah, he ain't joking. That should have been painfully obvious that he wasn't joking. Like, you're really serious. Yeah. With Guts drawing his sword, Casca gets between them now. Yeah, Casca prefers a diplomatic approach and wants them to talk it out. Perfectly reasonable. She views them as comrades and perhaps even friends. Also how she wishes to mediate this situation. Griffith, if you sheath your sword, we can talk. This is also not the only instance that Casca is very diplomatic and good at communication. I agree there. However, both Guts and Griffith act according to the mercenary code, as if they are ordinate and subordinate. I can't really see, like, a mercenary leader going this far, though. I mean, damn. Yeah, she's really upset. Yeah. Guts eventually tells her to stay out of it, and that they'll duel no matter what. Funny, in their first duel, it was Griffith who tells her this. Oh, nice catch. And him, because she still would not move, Pippin has to drag her away. Judo reminds Casca that they are mercenaries. Yeah, very true, but I've never heard of mercenaries doing something like this, though. Like, if you want to leave, leave, but But this is Griffith we're talking about, and I've always believed that pretty much anybody could have left the Hawks except for Guts. Guts is the only one. He don't get a choice. And Judo, you want to leave, leave. Corcus, you want to leave, leave. I'll help you pack. I can see it now. But Guts, oh, not you, Guts. You stay right here. You belong to me. And I love you. But anyway, here we go here. Yes, we know, but not like this. That seems like Casca's perception of the Hawks is more that of a family instead of an army or unit she is helping command. If you really think about it, it also makes sense because within the beliefs of her character, because the moment Casca woke up and gets a chance to interact with her companions in episode 359, she's more than grateful that she has that again, a family. Now, we're getting a couple of interesting monologues from this point onward. If you take a look at what Judo thinks here, we can tell Casca's attitude has changed. According to him, Casca wouldn't even care if her comrades got hurt. According to him, Casca wouldn't even care if her comrades got hurt if it was Griffith's word and command. Both are sacred to her, which is kind of funny considering she told Guts off for that exact same thing in Chapter 001, The Wind of Swords. Judo also says that she would probably still do it if it was Griffith's will and wonders if she's aware of the change. That question will very soon be answered with a yes. Yeah, she was really willing. Anything he said went. Yeah. He's begun to change. I don't know, and I don't blame him for wondering. Truly, if you look at what Casca is doing in this chapter, she dares going between them, going against Griffith's will to stop and fight Guts. It's like she is breaking free from his influence as well. And Griffith probably doesn't care as much. Casca's attitude started to change likely because Guts showed her some warmth after they fell off the cliff together. Yeah, Guts showed Casca what it means to have someone who is willed to get hurt for her sake and safety, 100-man slayer, despite of Guts insisting otherwise, or something that wants her wishes to come true. Guts carrying Casca to Griffith after the Battle of Doldre. It's almost like Guts showed her what it means to have a family. That's pretty ironic if you think about it. It's also a strong contrast to how Griffith treated her. From what I gathered, Griffith mostly ignored Casca from after Guts joining the Hawks and onward. Before that, it was different. Yep. Yeah, that is true. And plus he could just look at her and she's like, ah, I remember that one. Yeah, Guts had ordered her to go fight Guts, and she says, like, are you kidding me? And he just looks at her, just that one eye, and she's like, okay, like, touch it. Touch it. Yeah. Griffith setting his eyes on the princess only made her situation and jealousy worse. Yeah, but you should know why he's doing that, though. Come on. We then see how Guts contemplates how Griffith may think of him as a traitor now, which he finds understandable at the same time. No, that's not really being a traitor, but whatever. He even brings up the fountain speech, saying that if he wants to be Griffith's true friend and equal, he has to take a stand and be his own person, breaking free from someone else's dream. Yeah. Therefore has to leave. Yep. And that's actually on point because, but you see, again, I really believe that the fountain speech applied to everybody but Guts. That's actually on point because Griffith, as we will see once we read further into his thoughts in this chapter, still views him as a pawn, admittedly a very special one at that. Guts finds it weird how calm he is and how it all started with a fight and will also end with one. Because Guts is fighting Griffith, he cannot afford to show weakness. He also acknowledges that he is still worth spilling blood over for Griffith. Yep. Yeah, you see this in the anime, too. Now, I mean, of course, to be fair, the anime is way more faithful. Anyway. Now, Casca's wish is for Griffith to stop Guts from leaving and that everything would stay the same. This is when she realizes that she wants Guts to stay and is surprised by this train of thought that she has. Remember how Judo asked himself whether Casca notices she's changing? Here we can tell she does. In fact, she's going to bring up the realization she made here during the waterfall scene, and this is how they grew up together, basically. We are also shown what Griffith thinks. He will definitely not let Guts go, and contemplates how sure Guts is about his decision to leave. He does not see any of his impulsiveness, which implies Guts isn't making a decision out of the blue, which again is true considering he decided to leave before our last dispatch. Ooh, as he says himself during the tavern scene before this, meaning before the Battle of Doldrey, meaning during the Bonfire of Dreams scene. What I find the most intriguing is Griffith's train of thought. He is thinking of ways to stop Guts by deflecting his sword strike, even if it means killing him on the spot. If I can't have you, yeah. The possessive. Not really, but if he cannot be mine, then his life is forfeit. That was in the anime. Yeah, if even then, if I can't have him, yeah, that's in the movie. Like he says, if I can't have him, if I can't, then no one can. Yeah, but the anime, it's worse. Like, I will not allow it. Like, then he describes the strategy, and then he says, like, if he cannot be mine, then his life is forfeit. Yeah. Okay. And no one can? That's kind of batshit if you think, yeah, I thought it was really creepy. He cannot afford to lose his strongest man, because him on the enemy's side would possibly mean the end to him. If I can't have this valuable asset to my army, no one can. Oh, that goes a bit beyond that, I think. Anyway, this also proves that Griffith still somewhere sees Guts as a mere pawn to be used for his goals. I'm not so sure about this, but anyway. Griffith is not thinking of treating Guts like family, like Rickert suggested, or even talking out his friends, like Casca suggested. He's being possessive, treating Guts like property. Yeah, like he is possessive. Like, that definitely plays a hand in it. But I also think that he's the sort who finds it really difficult to admit his actual feelings. Like, how can he say, please don't leave, you have no idea how much I love you. Like, yeah, I can't see that happening. Yeah, this desperate. And then here it's, personally, I believe Griffith started to consciously think of Guts as a true friend from the moment he was rescued from the torture chambers. That's implied by Zod's warning. Here's a warning, here's a word of warning, no, a prophecy. If you can be said to be a true friend of this man, then take heed. When his ambition collapses, death will pay you a visit, a death you can never escape. Meaning the point in the story of Griffith realizing that Guts was actually his friend must have started there somewhere. Now, after Griffith's monologue, their actual duel begins. Griffith charges at Guts, trying to deflect his sword, only to make the decisive strike that would both start and end the fight. But instead of deflecting Guts' sword, his own sword is breaking because of the sheer force. Yeah, it should have been a duh there, come on. Yeah, Griffith did think he would deflect it, so anyway. Now Guts' sword falls onto Griffith, and Guts manages to stop it at the last second, saving Griffith from any harm. Yeah. Oh, panic. Deflect it. Nope, need deflected shit. This moment is super important. Just a few moments ago, Griffith was contemplating about killing Guts in the first strike, and would have had no inhibitions to do so. He did consider the possibility of stopping his sword, but he came to the conclusion that he would be unable to stop it. But Guts did, though. And Guts, he didn't think or plan much, and mostly relied on his strength. By doing so, he managed to break Griffith's sword and leave him unharmed by stopping his own sword as it fell. Yeah, that's some control right there. Yeah, you can point that out. Can I also point out how much self-control it takes to even stop a sword like that, especially one that's as heavy as Guts? Yeah, that's why in my tarot deck, Guts is strength. Can't see that being replaced by Nikki. So, Guts did the polar opposite of what Griffith was thinking to do. This scene alone says so much about who both Griffith and Guts are as a person. It didn't matter to Griffith whether Guts would get harmed or even killed during the duel, as long as he can keep his fighting power on his side or at nobody's side with him dead. His actions during the eclipse do not seem far-fetched in the face of this. Well, his actions during the eclipse are the result of being extremely broken and manipulated by the God Hand, but anyway. Guts cared enough for Griffith to stop his sword in time, preventing severe injury or certain death. He respected Griffith enough to consider his life and well-being during the duel. I think Griffith was considering it, though. Like, he was talking about, like, doing this or that, or like, its strategy. But he did say point blank, like, in the manga, it's if I can't have him, then it doesn't matter. In the anime, it's if he cannot be mine, then his life is forfeit. Anyway, it's also a symbolic act, because Guts has become so strong that literally no one can stop him anymore. At least no one from the Hawks. Now with Guts defeating Griffith, the latter is absolutely devastated. Oh shit. You see him fall on his knees, his face showing disbelief and shock over what happened. Guts then takes his leave. And he says bye. Griffith's devastated. Look at him. He all down. Yeah, he all down here. Yeah. See here, like, the shallow talk, like the outfit here. Like, it's better drawn, like, not as distorted looking, and it makes him look really sleek, and yeah, then Guts is all like, bye, and Griffith's just, and Casca reaches out to Griffith, but he's not responding at all. No touchy. Yeah. Instead, Casca's attention diverts back to Guts. She seems at a loss of words as well, seemingly hesitant, possibly pondering about what else she should do to make him stop leaving. Eventually, she calls his name out in despair, and you know Griffith had to have heard that, too. Says, note how Guts flinches at her cry. Does he? I didn't see that. Like, huh. Flinches, I think he just kind of keeps going, though. I don't think he flinches. But anyway, but soon after resumes walking. Honestly, he should have listened at least to her, agreed. But he doesn't because he feels unimportant. I think he made it very clear that he wanted to leave, so he can't really afford to look back. As we will find out in the next page that reveals his feelings in a monologue. He views himself as a pebble on the road that Griffith is stumbling upon. Griffith's path is so much more important, grand, and distant, that Guts has no doubts he's going to stand back up again. Oh boy, is he wrong. Yeah, it's like, he'll be alright. He'll be alright. Like, no, yeah, that's, yeah, it's alright, it's like a stumbling, it's petty and small. Yeah, he basically says the same thing in the anime. It's like, you'll be okay, this is just a setback. If, no. The English translation is being rather vague here, but my German translation from Panini Comics is being clearer about him actually being the rock Griffith stumbled upon. Yeah, I think in the anime it says like this is just a setback, this is just a stumbling, like something like that. This gives us a better idea what this passage probably originally meant in Japanese. You know, something like that. Petty, small, and unimportant. Guts probably felt that way ever since after falling on the cliff together with Casca. Falling off the cliff together with Casca. Being confronted with her dream, or conviction to be Griffith's sword, in addition to what Griffith said during the fountain speech, while he himself had none. The tragic thing is that if Guts truly were unimportant, none of the people present during the duel would have shown up in the first place. Well, it would have helped if they didn't know he was leaving, but whatever. No one would have bothered to make Guts stop leaving the Hawks either. Yeah, very true. Too long, didn't read. Guts is a sad panda who never realized his worth or never felt that he deserved a family, feeling unimportant and small. Okay, he's neither, but whatever. Maybe Guts' situation was similar to Farnese's when she ran away in volume 29. Yeah, not really. Yeah, but I just did Farnese's thing yesterday. Yeah, like the tarot here. It's like I was in. Oh, the warmer got. I thought I might have a place here, but I couldn't stay. I ran back. Cold and enclosed. Huh. Well, but yeah, Guts is a son who never realized his worth or never. Yeah, but I think it was more like he wanted something that was his, a dream that was his, a life that was his, and not just under the shadow of someone else's or something like that. And he got it, but he just didn't realize the rather extreme effect it had on a certain someone. Griffith fell the fuck apart, like he was devastated. But I said I have a different view of it somewhat. Like I do think that Griffith actually did love him. but it was like a really possessive love because he really did not know how to say that he loved him. He didn't know how to deal with his feelings. As we're seeing him as a pawn, like, I don't know about that. I think Guts was very, very important to him. Yeah, like, just very important. Yeah, Griffith has some self-control, but yeah, but I think, like, BScully doesn't think that Griffith loved Guts, except as a friend, and that's okay, because we see things differently, and that's okay. But yeah, here we go. All this, and this is really well done analysis. Like, obviously, I think so. Some boo-boos here, I think, but whatever. Like, come on. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not in college. This isn't an essay. There's IGB not to me, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully I added something here. Yeah, see here, like, this outfit here, like, it looks a lot. This one, like, I kind of grew to like. Because initially, like, I thought that it made his shoulders look bigger than he really is, and I thought that was really annoying. But here, like, it looks better, like, it looks more like an actual, like, body instead of something distorted, and it looks pretty good on him. Now, this is Griffith they're talking about. He looked good in, like, a Stella Artois barrel. But, and here's Corcus, shut up, Corcus, no one cares. And then, yeah, but I really think that a lot of this probably could have been prevented if Casca, like, just maybe kept her mouth shut. But I think that would have been out of character. Yeah, that would be bad. So yeah, there's a header image. Let's find it. Ah, here we are. Ah, there's the header image. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's by someone named Thickpen. Yeah, that's it. See here, like, I'm gonna be shallow again. Like, I love the color here. It's very nice. But there's Griffith, and see, the outfit here looks a lot better. It looks like a slender, well-muscled guy. Yeah, I'm there's Kiwi Farms, High Kiwi Farms, and now ear piercing. But anyway, if you look to your left, like, I feel like that the coloring definitely works here. It's like different shades of purple. And again, like, it's well fitted to him, and it's well suited to a slender man, and he just looks absolutely sleek here. Casca has a similar look, but she's more like tomboyish, and Griffith is more femme. But here, like, the outfit just looks amazing. Just the Guts looks amazing, the sun looks amazing, the tower looks amazing, the tree looks amazing, the castle looks amazing, the snow looks amazing. Like, it just looks really good. And them boots, not Guts though, I don't like those boots, but Griffith's boots, like, those are dem boots. It looks really nice, and it was made by Thickpen, so yeah, check that one out too. But definitely check out BScully, check out the Tumblr, check out the Redbubble, like, check all that out. Feel free to donate to BScully too, because BScully's became well known by coloring the manga and basically just really being a fantastic fan. So I think that'll do. Like, hopefully I added something here, damn it. I mean, it's supposed to be a reaction, so you're supposed to kind of add to it. But yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way. I will be going out to stuff my face, and I'll be doing that in a few hours. And that's enough. That's it. See you later. Goodbye.